So now I'll be presenting the five well-known artworks, and I'll be discussing the visual elements of each artworks. So first, I'll be showing to you the Mona Lisa artwork. So this one is the one of the most popular paintings in the entire world. And now I'll be discussing each of each visual elements. Sorry, I'll be discussing the visual elements of each artworks. So before that, uh, I'll apologizing for getting the most of the explainings from the internet, and I copied some of them, but not all. But I was able to research them. What are the lines, the shapes, and the colors of each artworks? So now I'll be discussing the Mona Lisa artwork. Uh, First is the line. In the Mona Lisa painting, Leonardo uses curvy lines and organic shapes, to create harmony instead of using straight lines and geometric shapes. The second one was the shape. Uh, Leonardo da Vinci used various types of lines in his famous painting, the Mona Lisa. The most evident are the curved lines used in the forming of the face, hair, and clothing. So let's move on to the color. The colors used in the Mona Lisa are brown, gray, earthy tones to convey a neutral feeling, which conveys neither a feeling of happiness nor sadness. Then the value of this painting is believed to be worth more than 850 million, taking into account inflation. Then in 1962, it was insured for $100 million, holding the Guinness World Record for highest ever insurance value in the art market. So it's corresponding to $870 million in last year. So the form of this painting is also called Portrait of Lisa Gherardini, wife of Francesco del Giocondo, Italian La Gioconda, or French La Joconde. Oil painting on a popular wood panel by Leonardo da Vinci, probably the world's most famous painting. Then let's move to the texture of Mona Lisa painting. The real texture of the painting is a cracked, rough surface, but the simulated texture by Leonardo is the smoothness of the figure's skin and the roughness of the backdrop. And last but not the least is the space. The space is used by the woman being portrayed being seen as the positive space, and the scenery in the background being the negative space. Value is also seen throughout the work. Along the woman's body, there are many shadows which are shown through different tints and shades of a color. So the next one is the Last Supper. So here are the visual elements of this artwork. So first is the line. So as you can see in here, Leonardo da Vinci is the painter of this artwork, the same artist who painted the Mona Lisa, which is I discussed just moments ago. And here's the line. Leonardo used one point perspective, which involves all the lines in the painting converging in one place. known as the vanishing point. This strategy was used to emphasize the importance and central position of Christ. The lines all converge in his right eye, drawing the viewer's gaze to this place. The second was the shape. As far as the composition is concerned, Christ is in center among the apostles, and his body forms a triangle-like shape which is not overlapped by any apostles. Then the colors. Colors in the painting are chosen carefully. Jesus wears blue and red cloths. Blue signifies the sky and the purity, the truth, whereas red signifies fire, danger, and also passionate heart. This combination of colors may correspond to the Holy Spirit of Jesus and the danger that about to come. All the colors except the clothes are calming and create peaceful atmosphere. Unfortunately, the colors are not bright as they used to be due to poor conditions. The value of this painting is said to be worth $450 million. However, it's tricky to put a price tag or worth on the Last Supper as it is one of the most iconic artworks in the world. In the form, the subject of the Last Supper artwork is Christ's final meal with his apostles before Judas identifies Christ to the authorities who arrest him. Then the texture of the Last Supper paint is essentially soft by virtue of the type of paint and background material used in reproducing the original version. In the space wise, the painting is very complex and a lot of different techniques are used to create the illusion of three-dimensional picture. So here's the next artwork that I'll show that I'll be showing right now was the kiss. So the line of this painting, this is a unique minimalist one-line art print and the interpretation of Gustav Klimt's famous work titled The Kiss. So the shape, the painting depicts a couple embracing in a field of flowers. The man is bent over the woman and she, clinging tightly to him, awaits his kiss. In terms of ornamentation, the male figure is characterized by square and rectangular forms, while for the female, soft lines and floral patterns are dominant. So the color of the kiss painting, in German, der Kuss, is an oil on canvas painting with added gold leaf, silver and platinum by the Australian symbolist painter Gustav Klimt. It was painted at some point in 1907 and 1908 during the height of what scholars called his golden period. So the value of this painting, the sale price of 25,000 crowns, roughly to $240,000 in contemporary US currency, was 5 times higher than any painting previously sold in Vienna. But that price turned out to be bargain. Klimt's less renowned, though still quite famous, Adele Bloch-Bauer once sold for $135 million in 2006. So the form, the kiss depicts a couple wrapped in a loving embrace in typical Art Nouveau style, Not only is this painting the most loved and celebrated of Klimt's paintings, but it is also one of the most controversial. And the texture of the kiss conceals the man's face and focuses instead of that of the woman. Is this work and in this work, the young woman's facial expression and closed eyes simultaneously evoke feelings of abandonment, ecstasy, and delight. And last was the space. The work presents an embracing couple, concealed behind a large golden cloak. This heavy embellishment protects and encircles the couple, reiterating the immortality of their love. Two distinctive parts constitute the image. The first part, depicting the man, shows a repeating geometric black and white motif, symbolizing his strength, virility, and masculinity. Meanwhile, the second part portrays that of the woman, where Klimt uses flowers and circles to reflect images of femininity and maternity. The next painting was The Scream. So for the lines, swirling lines were used for the surrounding nature and also the distorted figure. The bridge, the two other figures on the left-hand side, and the distant boats in the water are painted with rigid lines and shapes. This may represent a contrast between nature and the civilization being forced upon it. Next is the shape. This painting uses regular shapes such as rectangular fence and non-regular shapes such as the wavy sky. Form is the 2D or 3D shape within the painting. This painting uses both 3D and 2D figures. The fence has rectangular rims and the rest of the painting is 2D. Next is the color. The ghoulish figure was painted with sickly colors, dull yellows, blues, and purples. Dark and light accents painted over the top hint at the screaming expression of the figure. No attention was given by Munch to paint this figure with any sense of realism. So, but the value of this painting, it was sold for 119 million and 922,600 dollars at Sotheby's Impressionist and Modern Art auction on the 2nd of May 2012 to financier Leon Black. Then the form of this painting, conceived as part of Munch's semi-autobiographical cycle, The Frieze of Life. The Scream's composition exists in four forms. The first is painting done in oil, tempera, and pastel on cardboard in the year of 1893 at the National Gallery of Art, Oslo. Two, the pastel of examples, also in the year of 1893 in Munch Museum, Oslo, and 1895 in private collection. And final, tempera painting, the year of 1910, the National Gallery of Art in Oslo. So the texture, the part, the, sorry, the artist paints the bridge in great detail to create the illusion of a hard wooden texture. There are noticeable light blue streaks in the water which create a fluid, watery texture. And last is the space. This crayon version might be the first version he painted. Space is the distance between or within or shallow or deep effects within the painting. In the Scream, the lines separate the different shapes from one another. Another way space is used is the positive, light, and negative dark tones. So here's the last part of my presentation about the five well-known artworks was the creation of Adam. So for this painting, first is the lines in the creation of Adam. Adam's line, his body, is curved like the letter C or like the Nike symbol. There are some interesting notes on these lines. The Adam's line caused tension. First, they cause tension because our eyes want to go into two directions. One to follow his body to the feet and the other to go along the arm and to God. Second was the God has two lines, his arm and his body, but both sweep into an end at the far right cherub, which does not cause as much tension as with Adam's split lines. Third, with Adam, the lines make his side of the picture busy, meaning we become busy on that side figuring or where our eyes want to go. And last, however, the lines on God's side are more easy on the eye and cause less dissonance. Then the shape. Adam's body forms a concave shape which echoes the form of God's body, which is in a convex posture inside the nebulous floating form. And the color, this painting consists of warm and cold colors. The warm colors are red, brown, and yellow that are the background color of God and the skin tone of Adam. The cold colors are green and blue, which are found on the earth and the mountain, and a scarf from one of the angels. And the value of this painting cost 130 US dollars, and the size of painting was 26 by 47 inch. And the forms that used for this painting are painting, mural, and fresco. The creation of Adam is a fresco painting by Italian artist Michelangelo, which forms part of the Sistine Chapel's ceiling, painted from 1508 to 1512. It illustrates the biblical creation narrative from the book of Genesis in which God gives life to Adam, the first man. Then the texture, some stimulated texture can be found in the body, cloth, and scarf. This painting consists of warm and cold colors. The warm colors are red, brown, and yellow that are the background color of God and the skin tone of Adam. And last but not the least was the space. The painting captures the scene of God breathing life into Adam, who was to become the first man and was later joined together with Eve, who helped to start off the human race as we know it. So here's the ending of my presentation, and I hope you enjoy it, and thank you very much for the time.